Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Branislav Ivanović. Branislav Ivanović is a Serbian professional footballer who plays for Russian clubs Zenit Saint Petersburg and the Serbia national team, which he captains. A versatile defender, Ivanović plays as a right-back, although he can also play as a centre-back. Ivanović began his career with hometown club FK Srem. In January 2004 he transferred to top division side OFK Belgrade. 2 years later, he moved to Russia to play for Lokomotiv Moscow in the Russian Premier League, where he would spend 2 seasons, winning his first honor, the 2007 Russian Cup. In January 2008, Ivanović was signed by Premier League side Chelsea for a £9 million fee. He won 9 major honours with Chelsea, including 3 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, 1 League Cup, the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League. Overall, he made 377 appearances and scored 34 goals, making him one of only 5 foreign players to appear in over 300 matches for the club, and putting him behind only John Terry in terms of goals scored by a defender for Chelsea. Additionally, Ivanović was twice named in the PFA Team of the Year. He returned to Russia in February 2017, joining Zenit on a free transfer. Ivanović was first capped for Serbia in June 2005, and has since earned 100 caps and scored 12 goals for his country. He represented the nation at their first international tournament as an independent country, the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa, and was appointed captain of the national team in 2012. Early life. Ivanović was born into a family with a sporting history. His father Rade played for local team FK Srem as a defender. Ivanović played youth football for various teams in his hometown Sremska Mitrovica. Until the age of 15, he played as a striker, before switching to his current position in defense. Early career. Ivanović made his first football steps with FK Srem in 2002, following in his father's footsteps. Here, he made his professional debut, and his performances began to attract attention from Serbia's first league clubs. OFK Belgrade. In December 2003, Ivanović joined OFK Belgrade, in what was then the first league of Serbia and Montenegro. During his time within Belgrade, his team performed above expectations, even reaching the semi-finals of the 2004 UEFA Intertoto Cup. After 2 years of playing in Serbia's top division, Ivanović was courting interest from clubs across Europe. 2006 season. Coached by compatriot Slavoljub Muslin, the 22-year-old Ivanović made an immediate impact, cementing a place in the starting 11. He appeared in 28 league matches and scoring 2 goals. Ivanović contributed some outstanding performances to Lokomotiv's title challenge that ultimately fell short at the end of the season. 2007 season. In his final season in Moscow, Ivanović, by now a key member of the squad, made 26 league appearances and scored 3 goals. Lokomotiv again fell short in the league, but won the Russian Cup, defeating FC Moscow 1-0 in the final at the Luzhniki Stadium. Chelsea. On the 15th of January 2008, English Premier League side Chelsea confirmed that the club had agreed terms with Lokomotiv for Ivanović's transfer, subject to the agreement of personal terms and the passing of a medical, having beaten competition from the likes of Milan, Ajax, Juventus, and Internazionale for his signature. Though the transfer fee was undisclosed, it was speculated to be in the £9 million range. Lokomotiv later announced the transfer fee was €13 million and according to the club, the transfer was the largest in Russian football history. Ivanović signed a 3.5-year contract with Chelsea the following day, where he was given the number 2 shirt last worn by Glenn Johnson. 2007-08 season. Despite the substantial price tag, Ivanović did not make a first-team appearance for Chelsea during the 2007-08 Premier League season under manager Avram Grant. The reason given by the club was a lack of match fitness as a result of the Russian Premier League season's conclusion several months before his signing. Reportedly, Ivanović, who had not played competitive football in weeks, failed to impress in training, showing a lack of pace and fitness that was especially evident when matched up against clubs forwards, even youth prospects such as 16-year-old Frank Knubel. By the end of the season, Ivanović made 2 appearances for the Chelsea reserve side. Looking back on his initial 6 months at Chelsea, Ivanović stated it was the most difficult period of his career. 2008-09 season. Before the start of the 2008-09 season, Ivanović was linked with a move away from Stamford Bridge, most notably to Serie A clubs Milan and Juventus. He later admitted to being very close to leaving the club, citing advice and encouragement from teammate Andriy Shevchenko as one of the reasons for staying. 8 months after becoming a Chelsea player, Ivanović made his first appearance for the Chelsea's first team, getting a start at right-back against Portsmouth in the League Cup on the 24th of September and afterwards receiving approval for his man-to-man marking and aerial play from newly arrived manager Luis Felipe Scolari. Ivanović soon went on to make his Premier League debut, starting against Aston Villa and playing the full 90 minutes at Stamford Bridge on the 5th of October, a match Chelsea won 2-0. Ivanović, however, was still far from securing a regular spot. He sat out the following 5 league matches, only receiving a single substitute appearance in the 85th minute away at Hull City with the contest already decided at 0-3 when Scolari sent him on to replace Jose Bosingua. It would be Ivanović's starting performance at right-back in League Cup against the second-tier Championship side Burnley on the 12th of November that convinced the Brazilian manager to give the Serb another look. This time, Ivanović got the chance at centre-back position instead of Alex, starting 4 consecutive matches, including 3 league contests as well as his Champions League debut away at Bordeaux. It would be the performance at home versus Arsenal on the 30th of November, however, that lowered Ivanović's stock in Scolari's eyes again. After being up at half-time, the Blues lost the contest 1-2 courtesy of Robin van Persie's second-half brace. The Serb was relegated back to the bench, recording only a couple more starts in late December and early January. He played a total of 9 games in the first part of the 2008-09 season under Scolari's tenure. Towards the end of the winter transfer window, Ivanović became a target of another Serie A club. This time it was Fiorentina. On the 27th of January, his agent Vlado Borozan confirmed ongoing negotiations with the club's sporting director Pantaleo Corvino. However, on the 1st of February, Italian player agent Ernesto Bronsti said Chelsea appeared unwilling to sell Ivanović and that he will likely remain in London, which is what happened in the end. Chelsea were in a poor run of form, culminating with a 2-0 loss away at Liverpool followed by a goalless home draw versus lowly Hull City, all of which led to Luis Felipe Scolari's removal on the 9th of February. New manager Gus Hiddink continued omitting Ivanović, who was by now completely out of the first-team picture. His first start under Hiddink finally came on the 4th of April away at Newcastle United, almost 2 months after the Dutchman's arrival at Stamford Bridge. It was the player's first league appearance in more than 3 months for the club, and it happened only days after he scored the winning goal for the Serbian national team in a 2010 FIFA World Cup qualifier away at Romania. Despite playing very little competitive football over the previous months, Ivanović responded with assured defensive displays. He scored his first goal for Chelsea against Liverpool in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final at Anfield. Later on in the contest, he went on to score a second goal, which like his first was a header off a corner. These 2 goals proved to be decisive, as Chelsea left Anfield leading 1-3 on aggregate, and would go on to win the tie by 2 goals with an aggregate score of 7-5. Ivanović's 2 goals also earned him a regular starting place for the time being in Gus Hiddink's side, as well as making him an instant fan favourite among Chelsea supporters with the nickname Branislav. 2-goal Ivanović announced before games. Nonetheless, by the end of the season, Hiddink relegated Ivanović back to the bench after Champions League semi-final first leg at Barcelona, meaning that he did not play in the second leg, and he also sat out the FA Cup final. 2009-10 season. Beginning the season under yet another new manager and Carlo Ancelotti, Ivanović's 4th in his first 18 months at Stamford Bridge. The Serb made his first start in the Community Shield against Premier League champions Manchester United. He was substituted off at half-time for Jose Bosingwa, with United leading 0-1 as Chelsea went on to overturn the result 2-1 before conceding an injury-time equaliser and eventually winning 4-1 on penalties. In mid-August, Ivanović made his first Premier League appearance of the season against Sunderland, which Chelsea won 3-1 through goals from Michael Ballack, Frank Lampard, and Deco. In September, Ivanović made his first Champions League appearance of the season against Porto in the absence of Chelsea's first-choice right-back, Jose Bosingwa. Ivanović scored the first goal of his Premier League career against Bolton Wanderers with a shot from inside the penalty area on the 31st of October. His goal was Chelsea's third in a 0-4 victory at the Reebok Stadium. After his main competitor for a defensive spot, Bosingwa, went down with a season-ending knee injury in October, Ivanović became an automatic choice in the Chelsea defence. Though much more settled into the Chelsea first team than in previous seasons, Ivanović continued to figure as a transfer target for various European teams, highlighting his recent form. On the 22nd of December, a week before the opening of 2009-10 winter transfer window, he was placed on the cover of Marca, the influential Spanish sports tabloid that maintains strong links to Real Madrid. The accompanying piece claimed that Real was after Ivanović as a replacement for their injured centre-back Pepe. As the season continued, so did Ivanović as a regular in the Chelsea first team. In the Champions League second-round first leg away at Jose Mourinho's Internazionale, the eventual winners of the competition, Ivanović ran a majority of the pitch before passing to Salomon Kalou, who scored Chelsea's equaliser. His great run of form during the season led to him being named in the PFA 2009-10 Team of the Year in the right-back position. 2010-11 season. Ivanović began the season at right-back, but eventually moved back centre-back due to injuries to his teammates Alex and John Terry and the return to fitness of first-choice right-back Jose Bosingwa. His first goal of the season scored in an away game against Blackburn Rovers in the Premier League on the 30th of October 2010. A late header that secured Chelsea 2-1 win. He then scored a brace in a 4-1 win in the Champions League against Spartak Moscow on the 4th of November 2010. Netted by a powerful header and a neat shot. His second goal in the Premier League, or fourth in all competitions, came with a header, during the 3-1 loss to Arsenal. Early in 2011, Ivanović scored his first goal of the year on the 15th of January 2011, in a 2-0 home win in a Premier League match against Blackburn Rovers at Stamford Bridge, with a shot from close range. On the 10th of February 2011, Ivanović signed a new 5.5-year contract with Chelsea, keeping him at the club until the summer of 2016. After signing this new long-term deal, he said, "It is good news for me. It is a very big step for me in my career and I want to try to help Chelsea win a lot more trophies." He also added, "These things take a little time, but my first vision was always to stay with Chelsea. There were not a lot of problems, because I wanted to stay, the club wanted me to stay, and I want to thank everyone who helped with the deal. I am very happy with that." He ended the season by being one of 3 nominations for Chelsea Player of the Year, losing out in the end to goalkeeper Petr Cech. 2011-12 season. Ivanović scored a headed goal in the 42nd minute of Chelsea's 5-0 Champions League group stage win over Belgian club Racing Henk at Stamford Bridge. He assisted Frank Lampard from an outside-of-the-foot cross in the 50th minute against Blackburn Rovers. Chelsea won the game as it was the only goal of the match. Ivanović scored the winning goal in the Champions League round of 16 on the 14th of March 2012 to complete the turnaround, against which was decisive extra-time winner against Napoli, which Chelsea won 4-1 and 5-4 on aggregate at Stamford Bridge. On the 31st of March 2012, this marked Roberto Di Matteo's start at Chelsea with an important win. He then went on to help Chelsea overcome Benfica in the quarter-finals and beat favourites Barcelona in the semi-finals, though he received a second yellow in the second leg and so missed the final against Bayern Munich due to suspension. Ivanović scored a double against Aston Villa in a 2-4 away win. Ivanović scored again in the following game against Wigan Athletic in a 2-1 victory, with a controversial offside goal. He was once again one of 3 players nominated for the Chelsea Player of the Year award after a personally successful season, but lost out to Juan Mata. 2012-13 season. Ivanović played all of Chelsea's pre-season games and captained the side against Seattle Sounders FC, leading the side to 4-2 victory. On the 12th of August, Ivanović started the Community Shield match against Manchester City and was sent off for a 2-footed tackle on City defender Alexander Kolarov. He started Chelsea's Premier League campaign by scoring an early goal against Wigan on the 19th of August, helping the Blues to 8-2 opening round win. He scored again off an assist from Eden Hazard, as Chelsea defeated Reading 4-2 on the 22nd of August. The Serbian then went on to score a goal as Chelsea defeated Norwich City 4-1 on the 6th of October 2012. He was sent off in a Premier League game against Manchester United after a professional foul on Ashley Young, a game Chelsea lost 3-2. He scored his first ever League Cup goal in 1-5 win over Leeds United on the 19th of December. On the 23rd of December 2012, Ivanović scored his 5th goal of the season in an 8-0 thrashing of Aston Villa. Ivanović again displayed his recent goal-poaching prowess and opened his goal-scoring account for the calendar year on the 5th of January 2013, adding a 3rd goal to the scoreline in a 3rd-round FA Cup victory against Southampton. This was also the Serbs' first ever goal in the FA Cup, in Paolo Di Canio's debut as Sunderland manager on the 7th of April. Ivanović diverted David Luiz's long-range shot past the outstretched arms of Black Cats goalkeeper Simon Mignolet, securing a 2-1 victory for Chelsea. In the Europa League final on the 15th of May 2013, Ivanović headed in the winning goal in the 3rd minute of second-half stoppage time to give Chelsea a 2-1 victory over Benfica. The goal was the Serbs' 8th of the campaign in all competitions, and 1st in the Europa League, and secured a 2nd successive European title for the London club and the 11th major trophy of the Roman Abramovich era. The win also meant that, for 10 days, the Blues would hold both the Champions League and Europa League titles at the same time, until the final of the 2013 Champions League final on the 25th of May. Because of Ivanović's heroic performance at both ends of the pitch, the Serbian defender was named the man of the match. Following the match, teammate Frank Lampard lauded Ivanović and described him as a great man, and added, "You only have to look at him to see what a beast he is. He goes under the radar a bit, because he just does his job. But what a player. He has been an absolute professional and he is a man you want on your side." Fight incident. Ivanović was subject to an oral assault by Liverpool striker Luis Suarez in their Premier League fixture on the 21st of April 2013. The game ended in a 2-2 draw after Suarez scored a 97th-minute equaliser to salvage a draw. Replays showed that as the two tussled for an incoming cross from Steven Gerrard, which was deflected out by Ryan Bertrand for a corner, Suarez dug his teeth into the right arm of Ivanović. Suarez was found guilty of violent conduct and was handed a 10-match ban for the assault from the FA, but Ivanović did not press formal charges following the match. He initially did not accept the apology from Suarez, but afterwards the defender said he calmed down and accepted it. 2013-14 season. Ivanović became an integral part of newly appointed Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho's plans as he started almost all games, missing just one league game so far due to an injury he sustained in the 2-1 win against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. He made his first appearance of the season at Stamford Bridge on the 18th of August 2013, helping his side keep a clean sheet with a 2-0 defeat of Hull City. He scored his first goal of the season 3 days later, heading in Chelsea's winning goal in a 2-1 league defeat of Aston Villa. Ivanović scored the only goal of Chelsea's away victory over title rivals Manchester City on the 3rd of February 2014, bringing the sides level on points through 24 league matches. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?